This is an example of what AVEVA's UOC may look like for a mining company. Shown here may be a section of a video wall that provides information around a specific part of the processing plant. The example here combines a process mimic with information around the health of this asset by all the critical equipment within it. Also, we see some of the production and consumable metrics that equate to sustainability and cost implications to the operations. On a separate part of the video wall, on a specific workstations, we can also include 3D rendered images, just as Ben mentioned, of the process plant coming from integration with an engineering design software. From here, we can see and we can take a look at what's going on, for example, in our stockpiles. Clicking on the stockpile in the mimic also changes the context of what's being viewed in the 3D image. Once again, we can spatially navigate through the 3D image as shown here. Now let's see what's happening downstream in the secondary crushing process by clicking on the arrow there, right here. Once again, we see the contextual change in the UOC image and more details of the secondary crushing unit. The user can pan and zoom into the 3D image of this asset to get a spatial feel of the actual crushing process. In this view, we can see that there is an issue with the secondary crusher. If you look up there, there's an exclamation mark right there, and clicking that, the crusher will show up in the 3D image. We can see where the crushing unit is physically located in the plant to understand how easily this unit can be accessed by a worker, just in case maintenance activities need to be conducted. Additionally, we can bring up the documents associated with this troubled unit, such as the manufacturer's manuals and the ERP data around this asset on the right-hand side. This will help in understanding the maintenance history of the asset, and if required, we can raise the maintenance work order to address this particular problem. Now, let's go back to the home screen for this processing plant. Now we get to select the part of the screen that reflects the operational metrics around the plant that comes from the AVEVA production management system that Ben just talked about. This opens up AVEVA production management application on a user's workstation directly to the part of the application that is relevant to this part of the process. This brings us directly to the inventory position of the plant at the pre-crushed stockpiles. We can see the actual balances of each of the stockpiles in the yard, showing its balance in terms of total mass and the contained metal. Navigating back to the home screen, we now look more closely at the factors that are impacting the OEE of the crushing circuit over time. In the user's workstation, AVEVA's production management system opens again, this time to show all of the losses that have been seen in the crushing circuit. There you go. We see here a Pareto chart of the duration of time lost by cause. At a glance, we can see the details of the delays across each of the causes just by hovering over the Pareto chart. Let's drill into the belt drift trip cause, where there's a high number of occurrences. We can quickly see that most of the issues occur in a particular location. In this case, we can see it's the CV02, one of the dual conveyors feeding the crusher. Looking at the list of outages, both of the conveyors rather, we decide to look carefully at each of them in more detail to understand the exact root cause of the actual occurrences. When the user clicks at one of the links in the table of downtimes, they're immediately brought into the PI system where the event actually occurred. In this PI Vision display, you can look over the history of all the equipment-related downtimes that have been captured around this period by navigating on the left-hand pane, just as we see over here. But we're really more interested in the conveyor tags at the time of this event for root cause analysis. This is displayed in the table below in the event graph that you see